The biggest pop star in the world, the most famous football player in America, a love story that started in secret and became the romance of the decade. But what really happened behind closed doors? How did a friendship bracelet turn into a diamond ring? And why did they hide their love for months before the world found out? This is the untold story of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. The secret dates, the hidden messages, the families that almost ruined everything, and the proposal that made the internet break. Are you ready? Because this love story is much more complicated, much more romantic, and much more real than anyone ever imagined. But before we reveal all the secrets, if you love stories about celebrity romances and hidden relationships, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. We're uncovering the real stories behind the headlines. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's dive in. July 7th, 2023, New York City. Taylor Swift posted something on Instagram that made millions of fans hold their breath. Happy belated Independence Day from your local neighborhood independent girlies. She added a smiling emoji with sunglasses. Independent girlies. That was the key word. Taylor was single, officially single, for the first time in 6 years. Her relationship with actor Joe Alwyn had ended that spring after 6 years together. Then came a brief fling with Maddie Healy from the 1975, but that crashed and burned within weeks. By July, Taylor was done with relationships, done with heartbreak, done with giving her heart to people who didn't deserve it, or so she thought. Because the very next day, on July 8th, 2023, something happened that would change her life forever. And it all started with a football player who couldn't take no for an answer. Travis Kelce was 23 years old, 6'5", and one of the best tight ends in the NFL. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was famous, he was rich, he was confident. But there was one thing Travis Kelce couldn't get: Taylor Swift's attention. On July 8th, Taylor's Eras Tour arrived at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, Travis's home turf, his stadium. And Travis, like millions of other people, was obsessed with Taylor Swift. He bought tickets, VIP tickets. He showed up with his teammate Patrick Mahomes. He was excited, nervous, like a teenager going to his first concert. But Travis had a plan that he thought was foolproof. At Taylor Swift concerts, fans trade friendship bracelets. It's a tradition, a way to connect with other Swifties. So Travis made a friendship bracelet. But this wasn't just any bracelet. On this bracelet, he put his phone number, his actual phone number, the number of an NFL superstar. And he planned to give it to Taylor Swift herself. But there was a problem, a big problem. Taylor Swift doesn't meet fans before or after her shows. She can't. She has to save her voice. She has to rest. She has 44 songs to sing, and meeting people backstage would ruin her voice. Travis didn't know this. So when he tried to get backstage, when he asked the elevator lady if he could meet Taylor, when he waved his friendship bracelet around like a golden ticket, nothing happened. He was rejected, denied, left standing there with a bracelet full of hope and a heart full of disappointment. Most people would give up. Most people would say, "Well, I tried," and move on with their lives. But Travis Kelce wasn't most people. 18 days later, on July 26th, Travis went on his podcast, New Heights, which he co-hosts with his brother Jason Kelce, and he told the world what happened. He told millions of listeners that he tried to meet Taylor Swift, that he made a friendship bracelet with his phone number, that he failed. "I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her," Travis said on the podcast. "If you're up on Taylor Swift concerts, there are friendship bracelets, and I wanted to give Taylor Swift one with my number on it." His brother Jason asked, "Your number, as in 87, your jersey number or your phone number?" Travis just smiled, and the internet exploded. Clips from the podcast went viral, millions of views, millions of shares. Everyone was talking about it. Travis Kelce wants to date Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce shot his shot. Travis Kelce is shooting his shot on a podcast like it's a dating app, and somewhere in New York City, in her apartment, Taylor Swift was watching. She saw the clip, she heard what he said, and instead of being annoyed, instead of thinking this guy is crazy, she thought something completely different. This is metal as hell. Those were Taylor's exact words when she later described that moment. She thought it was bold, romantic, like something out of an 80s John Hughes movie, like a guy standing outside her window with a boombox, declaring his love to the world. But Taylor didn't reach out to Travis, not yet, because she didn't know if he was serious. She didn't know if this was just a publicity stunt. She didn't know if she could trust him. And that's when the whispers started. Taylor's cousins were at the concert that day. They saw Travis. They knew who he was. And after the podcast went viral, they started talking to Taylor, talking about Travis, about how genuine he seemed, about how sweet the gesture was. Then there were other people, people in Taylor's circle, people she trusted, and they all said the same thing. This guy is for real. This guy is different. Give him a chance. One of those people was Andy Reid, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid was a legend in the football world, but he was also a longtime friend of Taylor's father, Scott Swift. They knew each other. They trusted each other. And Andy Reid vouched for Travis. He told people close to Taylor that Travis was a good guy, that he wasn't crazy, that he genuinely wanted to get to know her. So Taylor made a decision. She reached out. She got Travis's number, and she sent him a message. Nobody knows exactly what that first message said. Travis has never revealed it. Taylor has never revealed it. But whatever it said, it worked. Because within days, they were talking, texting, getting to know each other. And then came the first date. It happened in New York City, sometime in late July or early August 2023. The exact date is still a secret. But Taylor and Travis have both confirmed it happened. A secret dinner, a secret conversation, a secret connection. Travis later said, "When I met her in New York, we had already kind of been talking, so I knew we could have a nice dinner and, a conversation, and what goes from there will go from there." Taylor said something similar. She said they started hanging out right after the podcast incident, that they had a significant amount of time that no one knew about, that they got to know each other in private, away from cameras, away from the world. But keeping a secret like that isn't easy, especially when you're Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, two of the most famous people in the world, so they had to be careful, very careful. They met in private places, restaurants where they could have a back room, hotels where they could use secret entrances, Travis's house when no one was around, Taylor's apartment when the paparazzi weren't watching. For weeks, maybe even months, nobody knew. Not the media, not the fans, not even most of their friends. It was just Taylor and Travis, getting to know each other, falling for each other, without the pressure of the entire world watching. But secrets don't last forever, and by September, the whispers were getting louder. On September 14th, 2023, reporters started asking Travis about Taylor. "Is she your girlfriend? Are you dating? What's going on?" Travis refused to answer. He said, "I'm not going to talk about my personal life," but his brother Jason wasn't so careful. On September 20th, Jason Kelce was asked about the rumors on a radio show, and he said, "I think it's 100% true. They're doing great." The cat was halfway out of the bag, and on September 21st, Travis added more fuel to the fire. He was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said, "I threw the ball in her court. I told her, I've seen you rock the stage at Arrowhead. You might have to come see me rock the stage at Arrowhead and see which one's a little more lit." 3 days later, the world found out. September 24th, 2023. Kansas City, Missouri. Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs were playing the Chicago Bears. And sitting in a VIP suite next to Travis's mother, Donna Kelce, wearing a red and white Chiefs jacket, was Taylor Swift. The cameras caught her. The announcers talked about her. The internet exploded. Taylor Swift is at a Chiefs game. Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce. This is real. This is happening. But here's the secret that most people don't know. That wasn't their first date. That wasn't even close to their first date. By the time Taylor showed up at that game, she and Travis had already been dating for weeks, maybe even 2 months. Taylor later confirmed this in an interview with Time magazine. She said, "By the time I went to that first game, we were a couple. I think some people think that they saw our first date at that game. We would never be psychotic enough to hard launch a first date. Hard launch. That's what Taylor called it. Announcing their relationship to the world. And she did it on purpose. Because by that point, she knew. She knew Travis was the one. She knew this was different. She knew this was real. But not everyone was happy about it. In fact, some people in Taylor's life were worried. Very worried. Taylor's management team was concerned. They had seen Taylor's relationships play out in public before. Joe Alwyn, Calvin Harris, Tom Hiddleston. Every time, the media attention was overwhelming. Every time, the relationship became a circus. And now Taylor was dating an NFL player? Someone who played on national television every week? Someone whose every move was already scrutinized by millions of football fans? It seemed like a disaster waiting to happen. But Taylor didn't care. She told her team, "I'm doing this. I'm not hiding. I'm supporting him. If people want to watch, let them watch." And watch they did. Taylor went to game after game. She sat with Travis's mom. She cheered when he scored. She wore Chiefs colors. She became part of the team, part of the family. But it wasn't just about football. Behind the scenes, something much deeper was happening. Taylor and Travis were falling in love. Real love. The kind of love that Taylor had written songs about her entire life but had never actually experienced. Travis made her laugh. He made her feel safe. He made her feel like she could be herself without worrying about being judged. And most importantly, he supported her. He showed up. He flew across the world to watch her perform. He learned the words to her songs. He danced in the crowd like a fan, not like a celebrity trying to look cool. And Taylor did the same for him. She learned about football. She studied the game. She asked questions. She genuinely cared about his career, his team, his dreams. By the end of 2023, they were inseparable. They spent Christmas together. They spent New Year's together. They kissed at midnight in front of all their friends and family. And everyone who saw them together said the same thing. These two are endgame. But there was still one problem. The families. Travis's family loved Taylor. His mom Donna adored her. His brother Jason thought she was amazing. His dad Ed couldn't stop smiling whenever he talked about her. But Taylor's family? That was more complicated. Taylor's father, Scott Swift, is famously protective of his daughter. He has seen her get hurt. He has seen her cry over breakups. He has seen the media tear her apart. And he didn't want that to happen again. So when Taylor started dating Travis, Scott was cautious. He liked Travis. He thought he was a good guy. But he needed to be sure. He needed to know that Travis wasn't going to break his daughter's heart. There were dinners. Family dinners where Scott would grill Travis with questions. Not in a mean way, but in a dad way. What are your intentions? Where do you see this going? Are you serious about my daughter? And Travis answered every question. Honestly. Directly. He told Scott that he loved Taylor, that he had never felt this way about anyone, that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. And slowly, Scott came around. He saw how happy Taylor was. He saw how Travis treated her. He saw the way Travis looked at her, like she was the most important person in the world. And he gave his blessing. By early 2025, the families were united. Donna and Scott became friends. Jason and Taylor's brother Austin bonded over sports. The Kels family and the Swift family became one big, happy, chaotic family. And that's when Travis started planning. Planning something big. Something that would change everything. He wanted to propose. He wanted to make Taylor his fiancée, his wife. But he didn't want just any proposal. He wanted it to be perfect. He wanted it to be a surprise. He wanted it to be something Taylor would remember for the rest of her life. So he started preparing, secretly, carefully. First, the ring. About a year and a half before the proposal, Taylor had shown Travis a video. A video of a jewelry designer named Kindred Lubeck. Taylor loved her work. She thought it was beautiful, unique, handmade. At the time, Travis didn't say much. He just nodded and smiled. But secretly, he was taking notes. He was paying attention to everything, because he knew, even back then, that one day he would need this information. So Travis reached out to Kindred Lubeck. He worked with her to design a custom ring, an old mine brilliant cut diamond, antique, elegant, timeless. With a gold band engraved by hand, it took months to create. But when it was finished, it was perfect. Next, the location. Travis didn't want to propose in a restaurant. He didn't want to propose on a beach. He wanted to propose at home. At his home. In a place that was private, intimate, meaningful. But his backyard wasn't romantic enough. It was just a regular backyard. Grass, trees, nothing special. So Travis hired a team. A team of designers, gardeners, florists. And he told them, I need you to build a garden. A secret garden. A garden fit for a fairy tale. And they did. They built an arched trellis covered in roses and vines. They planted flowers everywhere. Pink roses, red roses, white roses, hydrangeas. They added stone vases overflowing with cascading flowers. They turned Travis's backyard into something out of a storybook. But there was one more problem. How could he build all of this without Taylor noticing? They lived together most of the time. She would see the construction. She would ask questions. The surprise would be ruined. So Travis came up with a plan. A brilliant plan. He would propose on the same day they recorded an episode of his podcast, New Heights. Taylor was scheduled to be a guest on the show. It was a big deal. She was going to announce her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, on the podcast. So while they were recording the podcast inside, Travis's team was outside, building the garden. And to make sure Taylor didn't look out the windows, Travis hung blackout drapes. Everywhere. Every single window in the house. He told Taylor it was for privacy. For the podcast recording. To make sure nobody could see in. Taylor thought it was a little weird, but she didn't question it. She was focused on the podcast. Focused on announcing her album. She had no idea what was happening outside. The podcast recording went perfectly. Taylor announced The Life of a Showgirl. She talked about her music. She talked about her relationship with Travis. She told the story of how they met, how he shot his shot, how she fell for him. And when the recording ended, Taylor was happy, relieved, ready to relax. But Travis had other plans. He said, let's go outside. Let's have a glass of wine. Let's celebrate. Taylor agreed. They walked toward the back door, and when Travis opened it, Taylor gasped, because what she saw took her breath away. The garden, the roses, the trellis, the flowers everywhere. It looked like something out of a movie, like something out of a dream. And standing in the middle of it all, holding a small box, was Travis. He got down on one knee. He opened the box, and inside was the ring. The ring Taylor had unknowingly helped design a year and a half earlier, and Travis said the words that Taylor had been waiting her whole life to hear. Will you marry me? Taylor didn't hesitate. She didn't need time to think. She said yes. Yes, yes, yes. And they kissed, and they cried, and they held each other in that secret garden, surrounded by roses and love and the promise of forever. Then they FaceTimed their families. Travis's parents, Taylor's parents. Everyone was crying. Everyone was celebrating. Everyone was so happy. But they didn't tell the world. Not yet. They kept it secret for 2 more weeks. They wanted to enjoy it. Just the two of them. Before the world knew. Before the media frenzy. Before the craziness. And on August 26th, 2025, they finally announced it. A joint post on Instagram. Photos from the garden. Travis on one knee, Taylor's ring sparkling in the sunlight. And the caption, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." The internet exploded. Again. Instagram temporarily crashed. The post got 10 million likes in the first hour. Brands started offering to sponsor the wedding. SoFi Stadium offered to host it. Buffalo Wild Wings offered to cater it. Everyone wanted to be part of the biggest celebrity wedding of the decade. But for Taylor and Travis, none of that mattered. What mattered was that they found each other. That a friendship bracelet turned into a diamond ring. That a secret love turned into the romance of a lifetime. Taylor later said in an interview, "I never thought about what my wedding would be like until I met Travis. Because I never believed I would find someone who truly understood me. Someone who loved me for me. Someone who made me feel like the luckiest person in the world." And Travis said, "From the moment I saw her on that stage, I knew. I knew she was the one. I knew I would do whatever it took to make her mine. And I'm the luckiest man alive because she said yes." Today, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are planning their wedding. They haven't set a date yet. Taylor says she wants to focus on promoting her new album first, but everyone knows it's coming. The wedding of the century, the union of the pop queen and the football king. But here's what makes their story special. It's not just about fame. It's not just about money. It's not just about two celebrities getting together. It's about two people who found each other at the right time. Two people who were brave enough to take a chance. Two people who didn't let the world's opinions stop them from falling in love. It's about a man who made a friendship bracelet and refused to give up. And a woman who saw that gesture and thought, "This is the kind of love I've been writing songs about my whole life." It's about secret dates in New York, secret whispers from family, secret gardens built in backyards, secrets that turned into the most public love story of our time. And the best part? This is just the beginning. Because Taylor and Travis aren't just getting married, they're building a life together, a future together, a love story that will inspire millions of people for generations to come. So what can we learn from Taylor and Travis? What's the lesson in their story? Maybe it's this. Love doesn't always happen the way you expect. Sometimes it starts with a podcast. Sometimes it starts with a friendship bracelet. Sometimes it starts with a bold gesture that the whole world laughs at. But if it's real, if it's meant to be, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. All that matters is that you take the chance, that you shoot your shot, that you put yourself out there, even if you might fail. Because Travis could have given up after that first concert. He could have said, "Well, I tried, she's not interested." But he didn't. He went on his podcast and told the world how he felt. And that changed everything. And Taylor could have ignored him. She could have thought, "This guy is crazy. I'm not responding to this." But she didn't. She listened to the people who vouched for him. She gave him a chance. And that changed everything. So, if you're watching this, and you have someone you want to reach out to, someone you want to take a chance on, do it. Send the message. Make the call. Tell them how you feel. Because you never know. Your friendship bracelet moment might be waiting. Your secret garden might be just around the corner. And if Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's story inspired you, if it made you believe in love again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, and drop a comment below telling us who you want to hear about next. What other celebrity couple has a secret love story that the world needs to know? Because we're just getting started with these untold stories. And trust me, there are so many more secrets to uncover, so many more love stories to tell, so many more moments that happen behind closed doors that the world never knew about. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. And remember, the next great love story could be yours, if you're brave enough to take the chance. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep believing in love, keep taking chances, and keep shooting your shot. Because you never know when your Taylor Swift moment is waiting for you.